Nationwide is more than you think.
Yeah. Alrighty, we are live from Columbus, OH, and this is the Ramsey Show After Show. And it is, what is it? January 30th. So I think that, yeah, there's 31st this month. So not quite out of January, but almost into February. And can't complain, 47 degrees in the OH today, and that's fabulous because the extended forecast did not say that. Originally, it said it was going to be below freezing through February 6th. So can't complain about that. And now the extended forecast says no freezing again through the end of February. And so you got to watch out though. Ohio will have 6 foot of snow in April sometimes as a weird outlier that will happen. Anyway, this is not about the weather. What up, Mila's? Mila's likes the blue. Thank you. I'm not a brokey, Vincent. Are you a trolley? You're watching this on youtube.com/coachstevemoney. And for my other financial content, just scroll past the Oak Island playlist and you'll see the Ramsey Show After Show playlist. This is number 469 of those, coming up on 500 fast, and 137 in the Answering Your Financial Questions playlist. So a lot of me telling people they're doing it wrong and explaining why they're doing it wrong and how they're doing it wrong. And the music playlist has 11 Ramsey adjacent songs in there, so do listen to those. I also have some other content on my channel, such as reaction videos, Skinwalker Ranch. Oh, what else is on? There's several other things on there that don't get that many views, but I just use it all one channel, which they say you shouldn't do, but more than one channel, too much for me to keep up with. Market report, and we're all up today. Oh, Dr. Science, what up? Everything up today, which is better than past few days when it's been down. Let's see what the rest of the planet is like. Everything up in Europe, almost everything up in Asia. So the US dollar is up above the euro, down to the Japanese yen, up on the British pound, love, up on the Canadian dollar, sorry, and it's up against the Australian dollar, mate. Australia wanted to be higher, but the United States said nar. Oh, let's see. What do we got here? Earnings calendar for today was MasterCard, Visa, and Apple. And I'm assuming all those were pretty good. Does that say? Oh, let's check them out really quick. MasterCard hits record high on results. Yep, I mean, debt's highest it's ever been. So that's gonna probably spell well for them. Also Visa, let's check that out. Yep, and that's up in the after hours trading, so you assume good. Let's see what it says. Company becomes first partner of Musk's X Money. Earnings beat by 09 cents. Is that what that means? Or is that like 0.09 million? I don't know what that would be. But anyway, revenue topped estimates. So again, that's good. And that's what would explain. That would be logical that it would be up in the after hours trading. Also up during the regular trading day to day at 2.13%. Who else do we have? Apple. People love the tech. Let's see. Apple, that's up in the after hours trading as well. So it was down right when the announcement came out about the earnings. And then it seems to have gone up a little bit and then crashed and then now way up in the after hours trading. And let's see what it says. Apple top sales estimates, even as China is weaker than feared, is that word. Stock drops after earnings beat, iPhone sales slipped. Okay, so they made more money than they thought they were going to make, but the number of iPhone sales were down. So I guess mixed, but still, as you can see, after hours trading is this gray here, and so up 3.54%. Who do we have tomorrow? Exxon, Chevron, and on the February 3rd, Palantir Technologies, which is pharmaceuticals. Oh, let's see. We have, wow, Apple, Microsoft down by 6.18%. Don't know what happened there. Well, let's take a quick look. Why not? Let's see. Limited by capacity constraints on the AI sales growth. Okay, cloud forecast, AI spending disappoints. Okay. Well, I mean, you don't have to look that far ever if you want to find some bad news. You can certainly do that. But looks like the after hours trading up 0.43%. So, oh, maybe there'll be a recovery soon for the Microsoft. And what else? Amazon down 1.03, but Meta up 1.55 and 2.87 up for the Tesla. This from Forbes today. Bitcoin and crypto are braced for a huge Fed price shock. And I pulled this up not necessarily for how it involves Bitcoin and crypto. Generally, it seems that people think that it will mostly follow the stock market. Like when the stock market's down, people will also be selling their virtual currencies as well. But let's see, why did I have this one? Oh, it was for something. Yeah, down here, I think. The market is pricing in or near 100% certainty that the Fed's rate-setting Federal Open Market Committee will keep interest rates on hold, meaning not lowering the interest rates any, not doing any cuts. And like I said on a bunch of recent after shows, they want the inflation rate to be 2% a year at most. Supposedly, that's what they want. But if it's more than that and you're not cutting rates, then what you doing? So I don't understand that. What did Jerome Powell say? Where is it? Fed dovish comments. And so yeah, that just dovish means that it's just not gonna do anything, not gonna do any cuts. So then, you know, don't complain later where, oh, inflation didn't go down. Yeah, because you didn't take enough action. Thought this was neat today. Smart Money Happy Hour, one of the Ramsey Solutions shows, hosted by George and Rachel. And on today's show that came out, they had Mr. Ramsey on there. And found out some things about him that I did not know. What up, Aslan? What did I learn? Okay, so they basically put a call out to their viewers to ask questions of Dave. And so one of the ones was the, I think is his biggest expenditures, are the things he likes to spend the most money on, and it would be luxury travel. he said, and he said he likes it, especially the traveling abroad and where you pay. I think he quoted it as something like $500 to $1,000, and then they have a customs official come and meet you at the airport, and then they bypass you on all the stuff, and they just take care of it. He also said in Egypt, when he went to Egypt, they take you to a like a sitting area, sitting room, and they bring you food, and then they process all your stuff while you're sitting there having food and chilling out. And so that would be your luxury travel. Let's see what else there was. Yep, Smart Money Happy Hour. There's all three of them right there. Rachel doing that, Faith, because that's when she said because they go a Christmas trip every year, and apparently that's when they take all of the family members as well. And so that's when Rachel was going like that, like, thank you. Yeah, you bring us once a year. It would be take, because you're going away. You don't bring something to somewhere, like away from you. It's to take it away from you and to bring it towards you. So that's that. But anyway, so that's what they said they do it once a year, and they take everybody. So, and that's on the Christmas trip, supposedly. So don't know if that's every single year, but that's the way you made it sound. Definitely check it out, because there are a bunch of different stuff in there I did not include. Oh yeah, and she also said they get PDFs emailed of the itinerary, and they can opt out of things they don't want to do, but Dave has everything. I'm assuming his assistant sets it all up and has all the stuff that they want to do, just all scheduled. Everything's scheduled out, and then they can opt out or change anything up once they get there. But Dave says it's too much stress to do like some of his friends do, which is just go to somewhere like a different country and not have anything planned, and just do it, build it on the fly, build the trip on the fly. And so he said he can't relax like that. What else? Somebody asked how what has he changed over the years, and he said they would reprimand people if they didn't carry cash envelopes back in the day. But then once he and Sharon started doing debit cards instead of carrying cash envelopes, he said he's not gonna require anybody to do anything that he doesn't do himself. And he said he wouldn't say who the person was, but he said another financial advisor, celebrity person, said there's things that I do, and there's things I tell the people I'm advising to do that is different. And so, but Dave doesn't do that. He does the same stuff that he advises. And so he's fine with just a debit card. But again, if you need to carry cash envelopes to stay under the budget, within the budget, do that. But otherwise, for example, my ex-wife and I did not have any problem sticking to the budget using a debit card, so we didn't have to do cash envelopes. Yeah, Dave talked about how he's go all the time. He doesn't sit on a beach and read ever. He doesn't do that kind of stuff. So he likes to be doing something at all times. This part is the answer to the question. Oh, be where you are 100%. This is the somebody asked about the work-life balance. And he said, okay, sometimes work-life balance, when people bring that up, that means they don't want to work as much. And so, but if it's not that, if they're actually, just concerned about work-life balance, is you be actually where you are 100%. An example that he gave is you're not at home. You're not at home answering 37 work emails while you're having dinner with the family. You're not doing that. You're 100% at home when you're home. And when you're at work, you're not. I think I have that just on here too. Did I get it? Yeah. If you're at work, you're not on the dadgum Facebook page trying to be somebody's friend. Yeah, while you're at work. So 100% at where you are, and so that's how you should manage that. Yeah, he did say that he coached his son Daniel's ice hockey team. I think he said when Daniel was about 9, his son Daniel was about 9, he coached his ice hockey team. He also mentioned that, yeah, he didn't make all of his 3 children all of their sports events, and Rachel did cheering, so they didn't make all of those, but they were there sometimes, or he anyway was there sometimes, but he didn't make it a point to get all of them, but like important things like prom night for the kids, that kind of thing, they just didn't schedule any work events for those. Those are on the calendar first, and then they schedule work events around those. Found out something about Rachel. She was what they call a flyer. I guess they're like the cheer team, but the ones that they throw around, the smaller females that they throw around a lot and stuff like that. And she said she can't touch her toes. So when they had to start doing the, picking up the leg and pulling it and so forth, she couldn't do that because, whoops, hit the mic. Because she can't touch her toes because her hamstrings are very tight. So that's interesting. That's something you never thought you knew you would find out. George says he bets Dave's Amazon history is pretty light compared to Rachel's. And as you can see, that's where Dave says, I don't have an Amazon account at all. He does get some stuff on there on his wife Sharon's account every so often, he said, but he's not looking for stuff to buy and not needing to buy stuff all the time. But there's a whole bunch of stuff in there, so definitely check it out. He was asked about fast food and what did he nix? Taco Bell, Burger King, McDonald's. I'm trying to think if there's any others that he definitely said a no to, but he said he might hit Chick-fil-A, and pizza was probably his main thing on that. Oh yeah, and George said he met his wife at Ramsey Solutions, and his joke was that if she's good enough for Dave, if she got past his hiring procedure, then she's plenty good for me. So he didn't really have to vet his wife before he married her, because he just figured she would be okay. Is that all I have? Yeah, that's all I have. So pretty cool, pretty interesting, and there was some things about Dave that I had not heard him say before. So cool. Yeah, Aslan's back for 6 weeks. Welcome back. Oh, where is Sid's? Good question. She might be making dinner, perhaps. She had an all-day meeting at work today, but free lunch, so that's not bad. Yeah, I mean, you can't, you can't think that, like, he's not, I mean, he doesn't need an Amazon account, because I'm sure, like, if he needs something at work, I'm sure his assistant will get it for him, and I don't know, you probably uses the business account if it's something for the business, and then if he needs something, he just has Sharon get it, but I sort of see him not doing it, but people think that he's real frugal. He also told the story that I had heard before though about he had to go get a washer dryer because theirs broke, and they went to some electronics store. It seemed like it was like a Best Buy maybe or something like that. And but the salesman in there told him, yeah, you should also get the warranty, the extended warranty on this because Dave Ramsey gets it all the time. So obviously the salesperson didn't know that it was Dave Ramsey. And he said, no, I never get that. And so David was trying not to make a big deal of it. And so he just said, no, I don't ever get that. Don't do that. But the salesperson kept on and on and on about, well, Dave Ramsey says you should do it. And when he buys stuff here, he gets it all the time. And so Dave just took out his driver's license and showed it to him. And then basically he just left and went and got it from the Home Depot. No, Lowe's. He got it from Lowe's. Sorry about that, Lowe's. Didn't mean to disrespect you. But that's where he got it from eventually. So, yeah. People lying to try to make more money. Oh, that's what feng shui is? I did not know that. As it says, it's to keep your environment to what it is for. Like a kitchen is for cooking and the bedroom is for sleeping. So the work area is for working and the home is for enjoying time with the family. I see. I got it. So that's just like the work-life balance that Dave was doing. But yeah, it's I think it's about an hour, that Smart Money Happy Hour. And it did just come out this morning. And so it should be the latest one. If you check the Smart Money Happy Hour channel pretty soon. It should be the latest one on there, and it's interesting. Get to hear Dave just talk about stuff, different things that he doesn't really necessarily talk about on the show. And there's a bunch of other things. Like I said, I only included just a couple of them, even though it seemed like a lot of different things, about 7 different things, but there's a bunch more. Reddit.com/r/Dave Ramsey. What the hez? 5 Signs Someone Secretly Broke. Great video by Ramsey personality George Camel. Okay, we're advertising them today, I guess. The Smart Money Happy Hour. George Camel is also on, but I guess this is on the George Camel channel. Summary that don't want to watch the video. Okay, and that's kind of what I did as well, I guess. Let's look at all 5 of them. All 5. 5 Signs Someone Secretly Broke. 1, confusing income with wealth. 2, spending big to look rich. 3, lacking financial discipline. 4, having money ADD. I'm assuming that was attention deficit disorder. I'm assuming that's what that is instead of being and not having a financial plan. All right, and that makes sense. All of that does. Excuse me. Cancel key 1342. Does coffee give headaches? People get headaches when they stop caffeine. Sometimes. I probably think most people, once you are imbibing caffeine a lot, and then you stop cold turkey, you can get a caffeine headache from lack thereof. But doing it, yeah, it could be, if you're not used to caffeine intake, starting it up may give you a headache as well. I don't know, Mealer. That would be the British pronunciation of Mila's name. They like to put an R at the end of words for no reason. Mealer. Yeah, that's all I can imagine, that it would be the caffeine. I mean, I suppose it could be anything in the coffee, but probably the caffeine. Yeah, Mealer. Yeah. Yeah, that's what, like well, oh gosh, I can't remember the name of the group now. those two brothers that that fight all the time, and they just got back together. That group, I can't remember, Champagne Supernova, but they would say Champagne Supernova with an R on the end of it. And I don't know why they do that. I don't know why the Australians put a R on the end of nar, meaning the opposite of yes, nar. I don't know why they do that either. Weird. I'm sure Americans do weird stuff as well, though. This is the reason Dave wants us to pay mortgage down. We might not have to read all of this though, but you know, and these are interesting where it's just people talking rather than, you know, commenting rather than asking questions. Let's see, there's been abundance of new threads every week with questions regarding paying down the mortgage compared to investing above 15%. Right. And instead of reading all those, they write their own new question, which, you know, it's an open forum. It's on the internet. So you can't complain. It gives me content, so I'm not going to complain either. This is an attempt to sum up my take on everything I've heard Dave say about this for decades. Well, we basically know because it's less risk, and that's it. That's it. It's less risk. And also, it's easy to tell as well because baby step 4 says invest 15% of your income. It doesn't say invest more. So anything it doesn't say to do, you wait until step 7 to do. So investing more would be in step 7. And look what comes before step 7, step 6, which is pay your mortgage off early. And so you don't debt leverage by keeping the mortgage debt around to invest more. So it's all about the risk. And a lot of the financial bros, they just make decisions based on the calculator numbers. And the calculator, I have not seen one that has a risk button on it. So that leaves that out. But that's the basic deal on this. Yeah, maximizing potential. So this person, he did it the long way, the multi-paragraph way of saying just what I said in a couple sentences. And so, cool. Seemed like the guy was on the right track, though, but just there's no need to type all of that stuff over and over again. I am the liquor 199. All right. The real cost of home ownership. I got people waxing poetic today. Let's see. I see a lot of posts on here about people struggling to go from renting to owning and questioning, criticizing Ramsey's home buying rules. 20% down. 15-year fixed, 25% of take-home pay. If you are a first-time home buyer, you can do, and he said on the they said on the Smart Money Happy Hour today that is a change too, because it used to be 20% down, but now, and I've heard 10 for a first-time home buyer. So if you're on your second home, you got to put at least 20% down, and it's best to not do anything except your equity in your current home that you're selling and cash to buy the new house. That way you don't have a mortgage beyond your first home buying mortgage. But George and Rachel said 5 to 10%. So I'd heard Dave say 10%. And he didn't tell them, no, that's wrong. So I guess it's 5 to 10% is fine for first home buying, for first time home buyers. So don't try to cheat the rules and do that if you're a second time home buyer, or if you're trying to move up in house. Don't be putting no 5 to 10% down. You got to put 20% down at least. And it's best not to do another mortgage anyway. Just use your equity and then save up to upgrade. So you don't want to be upgrading in house every 2 years like it's a freaking iPhone. All right, so just want to share a little public service announcement on what it really costs to own. I call this my monthly rent before even paying a dime toward my mortgage principal on my 2,400 square foot home. Electric bill, $500. That's a lot. When I was in a house, I never paid $500. So I don't know if this person's in Canada doing electric heat. I don't know what's going on there. Propane $250. So I don't know what's going on with this person. That seems excessive. It's maybe that's somebody that has to have it be 80 in the wintertime in the house and have it be, 60 degrees in the summertime. I don't know. Maintenance 500. That's probably, I don't know, a month. That might be a little much, but mortgage interest 1,000. Okay. Property school tax. Some places don't have it, but yeah, you may run into that. So the 3,000 extra a month might be a little much for that. Obviously, it's in a high cost of living area. Okay, so and yeah, extreme August, July, August, extreme months. So you're not a typical case here, but the point is that there are other expenditures there. And so, yes, you get the equity, but you also, this is why you don't buy it if you're in step 2. Because you can't be affording all of this extra and also on top of it, pay your debt off. Good life insurance companies. I'm using Xander and they are showing me a lot of different companies of quotes. Does anyone have recommendations for any companies to use or avoid? No, I don't. I'm assuming Xander would not recommend companies that they don't trust. I'm assuming they show you the different quotes so you can pick, so you can check out internet reviews on them if you'd like, or ask your friends or family about it. But 10 people answered, so maybe they know, but I don't know enough about different companies to say anything about any of them. And I have not had life insurance have to be paid out. I'm not the beneficiary of anybody, and so I've never been I don't think my parents ever had life insurance, so. So I wouldn't be the beneficiary, so I haven't had direct experience with any. But generally, Xander tries to get you the lowest rate, and then you get to decide which one to go with if you'd rather have a different company rather than just take the lowest rate one. As I said on the website, they have 5%. Okay. Hey, Sid is almost home. Long working day for her. I'm sure it was a productive meeting. Oh, maybe I had too much. All right. Yeah, I would Google that. I would Google that, Mila. I know it's if you get addicted to it, and if you don't have any, then you can get headaches. And I have had that happen when I went into the hospital for what did I go in the hospital for? Was it for the beatus? I'm thinking it was, or was it something before that, where they wouldn't give me any Diet Cola or anything else that had caffeine in it. I'm thinking it was probably for the beatus when I went in there for the beatus, and yeah, he had headaches for about 3 days, and then after 3 days, it went away. And then I stayed off of it for a long time. HB says, "Nar." Not with the U. Sometimes I feel like sometimes I want to do NAR just for NAR, like that. But that doesn't seem to like be enough syllables. It seems like there's a U in there somewhere, like NAR. Because it's like nar, like almost like it's a little bit, tiny bit of a U after the R, like nar, because of the way the R is drawn out there. I've just been watching too many people doing like movie reaction videos, and most of the Aussie females are like, anytime there's a sad thing happening or something like that, they're like, "Nar." TPM 1995. Oh, didn't finish with the chat. How dare me not do the chat? There's a Bella in the chat. I don't see a Bella in the chat. I know a Bella though. Oh, Sid, stop to replace the dress. One dress that's getting too warm for the time of year. Maternity shirt for $6. But the total was $666, so I had to get a candy bar. I get it. No need to go down that route. Mila thinks caffeine isn't for her anymore. I mean, nobody needs it. Yeah, especially those of you that have your own energy. I probably have less energy. Probably have less than a quarter of the energy that one of you youngs have. Young people. Is hydrating just now? Yeah, might be my problem. Yeah, you could hydrate as well. Yeah, don't be dehydrated. I've seen her dehydrate, sir. It's pretty gross. That's a movie called The Breakfast Club. Mila, if you haven't seen that, check that out. Honest thoughts about a car loan 5 years into. All right, let's see. So my car is worth about $27,000 to $32,000, depending on Kelley Blue Book. I owe, depending on the condition of it, per Kelley Blue Book. That's what he meant to say, or she. I owe $13,800 left on it. I only have $1,500 left to my name, and I've been paying off $1,500 left to your name. What do you mean? Is that how much you have in savings? So $1,000 emergency fund plus an extra $500. I've been paying my car loan since 2020 after getting it leased for $600 per month. Should I sell it and get the difference and pay for a used car? If I'm able to do that, it is the only debt I have besides a mortgage. 5 years and you still owe about half of what it's worth. I mean, the thing here would be, since it's the only one left, and if you like it and want to keep it, try to pay it off as fast as you can, and not just the minimum payments on it. What would knock you further up into a higher baby step number would be selling it and buying a beater. So that one is going to be up to you. It being your only debt, and if you are not house poor, depending on your mortgage, I would say you can make that decision as to whether to keep paying that off. So, but the problem is, you probably paid $13,000 off over the 5 years, so it's going to take you another 5 years to pay it completely off. So I wouldn't accept that. So I would probably recommend to go ahead and sell it. And there could be things also in there that would also affect the decision as well. Like, for example, if it's too much mortgage that they have already, they would be selling the house too, maybe. Key the zebra. You shouldn't key zebras. I mean, they have the stripes on it already, so it looks like they've already been keyed multiple times. My problem isn't saving, it's making money, venting. Well, you are having a problem saving if you don't make enough money, aren't you? Let's see what all this is about. It's just a vent, though, so we'll see. My 4-year business degree has generated nothing but low-level office jobs, and this is why we don't go to debt. It's bad enough, but debt for in student loans for a degree. So it's bad enough if you pay for it in cash and it doesn't end up being any return on that investment for you. That's bad enough, but it's even worse when there's debt. And so the other thing I always bring up that people never think of, they never think of, oh, I might not graduate because what's the graduation rate on there? Uh, Average in college, isn't it like 50% or something like that? So there's always that chance, and then also mommies like to stay home with babies too instead of go to work to pay off their student loans as well. But they don't think about that when they take out the student loans. So, like I said, it's bad enough when you pay cash for it, but getting the student loans, that makes it even worse. And so you can't just say, "Oh, I'm going to get a degree and then I'll definitely make off the money." No, that doesn't mean you will. Doesn't mean minimal space to move up, right? So should have thought about that before you decided on that being the degree level or going to that college for that particular field. So I became a truck driver. Didn't need to go to college for that. Which after working for 5 months so far has made only $8,400. That's not that much either. So it seems like you're not working that much. I mean, if you're driving every day or 5 days a week, and you've only made $8,400 over 5 months, there's a problem. Worked Uber and side hustles and was working as a server, and that together was the most money I'd ever seen. Yeah, you would think truck driving would make more money than those two combined, you would think. So something seriously wrong is going on here. I'm 27 now, and I've only ever generated about 90,000 of income since age 18. Okay, didn't work much from 18 to 24 as I was in college and was too anxious to take a job in fear it would cause me to fail. Yep, a lot of people use that as an excuse, whether or not there's justification in it or not. In high school, played a sports team all 4 years, and they discouraged going to work or job because it took time away from practice. So that followed me into college. Yeah, and so if you're not gonna be, especially if you're not even going to be in college sports, if you're not going to be a professional athlete, then guess what? In high school, it doesn't matter if you get a part-time job in addition to being on a sports team. Doesn't matter. Mental health struggles that crept in due to drug use and dissociation during COVID. So you got all kinds of problems, my man. You might need some counseling. Are also holding me back, as sometimes I struggle to believe I'm even a real person. Okay, well, so that has nothing to do with the rest of the stuff, but it may be the cause of all the rest of the stuff. So often the problem is a problem behind the problem. That happens a lot on the Ramsey show. They get calls, people say, this is what's going on money-wise, and then eventually it comes out. Sometimes Dr. Deloney has to say, oh, hey, does this and he knows exactly what it is because he's been down that road before. So let's see, yeah, mental health struggles, and that can affect your money decisions and your just overall life thing. About doesn't seem like you're too jazzed about work, and when they discourage you to work a job, then you just took that as being extra incentive to not work. Like just that convinced you even more when you might not have wanted to anyway. I think a real person would have to be the one typing this in here. At least it would have to be a real person asking ChatGPT what to put in there. That would have to be a real person. You could get AI to make up the question or the comment, but a real person would have to do that. Mostly, we'll see. I'm working through this in therapy and stuff. Okay, it's already there, so you're doing what you can do, I guess. Vent over it, just want to get out of debt. Well, you need to get over it and figure out why you're not working. So, I mean, if this is 5 months actually working 5 days a week, so at least 40 hours a week, and you made $8,400, that's an hour. Something is going wrong there. And we would need much more information to be able to figure out what it is. Mila is telling me to be nice. I don't know what I wasn't being nice about. It's tough love. Oh, Bellamy's beautiful. That's right. Okay. Gotcha. Oh, let's see. What else in the chat here? Sorry about that. Mila wants to know, how do you know what size rug to pick for your living room? Okay, things that Coach Steve knows zero about. I mean, you want it to be, doesn't that depend, like, if you want it just to, like, to fit under the couch in a little ways, past the couch, like a nice little circle? Is there a formula? There probably is a formula. Or just something that you can say, oh, that looks cute, and go with that size. Maybe. Space is more of a route passing to a hallway. Displaying photos would be another area to group together. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about any of that stuff. Oh, I was being funny. Okay. When I was doing that. Steve's. Mila keeps adding an S, like she wants there to be more than one of me. One of me is probably enough. I'm not sure what therapy is going to tell you other than to earn money, you need to work. Yeah, that's true, but I mean, it could be some issue that he's going through that he needs to resolve before he can get to the place where he says, oh, I need to get my butt to work, and it needs to be a job where I don't just make $5,800 over 5 months. So yeah, that's a good point. Cute and symmetrical, right? Yeah, well, obviously, you wouldn't be non-symmetrical, Mealer. And we can go on together with Suspicious Loan. Suspicious Loan 419 is the poster here, and the title is I Did It. We did it. We did it. Loisima, we did it. So Dora the Explorer there. Got back from my 12-hour overnight shift, and see, the making money person. Hey, do some 12-hour shifts, dog. And I'm reading posts here on people asking whether to pay off loan or save. And thanks to you guys, it only made sense to pay it off. Good. For your information, single mom with 3 kids. My mom watches my kids, so I picked up extra shift 2 months ago. I do 12 hours for 5 to 6 nights. Only debt left is my recent tuition payment of $1,800 for my BSN, Bachelor's of Science of Nursing. Maybe. I paid off my 2023 Sienna loan in 2 years. Okay, great. Working more to make the baby steps happen. That's how you make it happen. This is an ad, apparently. If you feel it, chase it. Twisters, highly recommended. I mean, I feel like it's every bit as good as the original one, and I often feel like it's better. I feel like, for me, it might even be a little bit better than the original. At Wit's End, 1996. And at Wit's End, that means you're over it. You're overwhelmed by it. What do you do for recreation? Everything costs so much. I'm doing it right now and it doesn't really cost me anything. I mean, I had to buy the webcam and the mic. But other than that, I had a computer anyway. So I consider this recreation. This is very, very fun to me. Um, Everything costs so much. So yeah, you do and this comes up a lot too with, especially younger people, like especially like in people in the 20s, trying to do the baby steps, and their friend group always wants to go out, somewhere where they always get, $8 drinks that they make to look so cute, that kind of thing. And they just want to spend, even bros be wanting to spend money doing things, instead of just going somewhere and hanging out at somebody's house getting a pizza, even something like that. You try to do something that is not very expensive. If you want to get out of debt, then you prove it by not buying recreation items. But everything I could think of seemed to cost money. Well, you're thinking of the wrong stuff then. I got a great idea. Google things you can do, and you can even add your city to it. Things you can do in Columbus, Ohio for free. You can do that. Any suggestions of things to do that do not cost money? Start a YouTube channel. I would normally go to the park or something, but the weather's been super cold in the 20s. Yeah, so you can't do that. I mean, if there's like a mall type area, such as where we have a little thing called Easton, and that's an indoor mall, and that's a newer developed mall here. I would say maybe only 10 to 15 years old. But if your area has some kind of mall in it, then they also have places where you can sit, and like you can get like different bunches of, like, a little bit more expensive than fast food places there. But you don't even have to do that. You can go in there and you can sit around. You can walk around instead of walking around a track at a park. You can walk around the mall and such. So all you got to do is think about it instead of thinking, oh, I can only think of things that cost money. Edit, thanks for all the suggestions. Maybe easier to get through this than I thought. Okay, 146 comments. Excellent. So sounds like they actually helped her. 146 is a bit too many to go through, but I gave some good examples. At least those would be good for me to do. Like I said, but I do for recreation that is free. I mean, basically the stuff that I had to buy to do this has paid for itself by now. So it basically is for free. Independent add a 8280. If guest hosting was a thing. All right, let me get it chat again. BSN is bachelor's in nursing. Sid confirms. Subway has a $5 Oreo foot long. Sugar. So it's a good guess. Hey, man, I knew what it was. Mostly. It was, I guess. Mila should start a fitness channel, except who'd watch it at 4:30 a.m. 6 days a week? Well, that's the beauty of YouTube. They can watch it whenever they want to, Mila. They can watch it later in the day or later at night, whenever they have time. And almost always, the young ladies' channels make more money than the bros do. Or unless it's Mr. Beast or somebody like that. I don't think I've ever seen anything on, I don't think I've ever been on his channel, though. I've just heard of him. Sid works and cleans the house and cooks dinner. She goes to school and watches her one streaming service with Hub. So she's all good for recreation, sounds like to me. Library's typically free. That's a good idea. Ice cream on Oreos. Yeah, I was interested in that too, Mila. I didn't want to ask though. Got to add in the weekly set in the mail. That's so crazy cool. Okay, I'll look that up and have that for tomorrow's after show, perhaps. Oh, you want them to exercise with you? Okay, so now you're being high maintenance, Mila. You can't just like start a YouTube channel and expect to do a live stream and have. I mean, I get you could just do that. I mean, eventually you might pick up a bunch of watchers. It's possible. Says it's Superwoman, duh. She just doesn't have time for other stuff, right? She busy. She busy. And gonna get even busier. If ghost hosting was a thing, how many people that watch / listen to the show on a regular basis feel like they could host if stage fright wasn't a factor? I say too much, so that wouldn't happen. Also, I mean, you're not gonna just get on the Ramsey show. It doesn't work like that. I've been following the Ramsey system for years, and I've been mostly Dave-ish. Well, then don't be trying to be a guest host then. Don't even think about being a guest host then. Why would you? Why would you think that would even be possible? Really trying to lock it in finally. Lock it in first, be a guest host second. I find myself answering callers' questions, at least knowing how the host will answer. Yeah, but you don't do it that way, so that's what you should count on first. That's what you should do first, instead of trying to be a guest host. I feel like a hypocrite. You should. Because I know the right things to do, but I don't live it every day. So, ... Do you think you could successfully pull off an hour hosting the Ramsey show? Oh yeah, I could get through it, sure. Absolutely, I could get through it. But there would be a lot of ums and such. Yeah, I could get through it. And of course, there would be some things I would say, I don't know. You'd have to go to a lawyer for that kind of thing. Obviously, the current host would have much more experience with a bunch of more things than I have. But I mean, I think I could get through it. I could certainly answer all the baby steps questions. And that's pretty cool. And that's, I mean, but that's also why I do what I'm doing here, because I do that thing, that kind of thing would certainly interest me, but I know that's not going to happen. You also have to live there to work at Ramsey Solutions, and so I'm not going to live in Tennessee, so that's not going to happen, but this is the next best thing, so pretty cool. Dave approved international ETFs. All right, well, it doesn't work that way. There's no Dave approved ones. He wants you to have 25% of your retirement investing into international managed mutual funds that beat the index. What are y'all's favorite international ETFs for Dave Ramsey's investment strategy? I know he says growth, aggressive growth, growth and income, and then international. There's so many different international options. ... Yeah. This, I mean, why don't you just put on there, I don't want to have to do this myself and find these myself. Just give me the answers of what to invest in. And so 27 people there. Maybe some people have given him, advice on that. And am I going to invest in anything that just because somebody on Reddit said to invest in it? That would be a nar. Wonky Carnation. Oh, carnation. Like a flower. Saved 20%. Saved 20% of my after-tax income last year. And I gotta say, I'm proud of myself. And you shouldn't have been doing that if you have debt. I have some medical debt I am still paying off, but I'm down to 500 of that. and probably need to fix my car or start looking for an old used one. You should have, instead of saving that 20%, you're doing it wrong by saving more than $1,000. You have $1,000. Let's check the baby steps one more time in case they've changed since yesterday, the last time I looked at them. Oh, look, they haven't. Save $1,000, start emergency fund. It doesn't say, and go ahead and save up another 20% of your income instead of paying off that $500 medical debt. It doesn't say that. So you're doing it wrong. And if you don't believe me, I got some backup.
You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong.
So there you go. And the original, of course, from Mr. Mom.
You're doing it wrong.
So yeah, you're doing it wrong. All right, so doing it wrong. Let's see, need to fix my car. Looking for an old used one from a private seller, but I did it. You're very excited for yourself for doing it wrong. There were some months I couldn't put in, but overall I'm happy about it and wanted to share. Edit. P.S. I'm 32 and make $42K before taxes are taken out. Also, why is it always before taxes are taken out? Because you base some things on, like how much house you should buy, on your net income. So let's say I made $31K after taxes, and with my tax refund last year, I have my own Roth. You shouldn't be investing either. So everything you're doing here is bad. I put money into and have rolled money into, along with a work Roth that I put money into. I don't have a family and I don't want one. Great. Not even dating because, all right, you know, men's, am I right? Or I don't know. Is this a man? Didn't say. So I don't know. But anyway. Not interested in family, though. Not even dating. Because screw that nonsense. I won't be buying a house. He might have been hurt more. He or she might have been hurt previously on Wonky Carnation's life. Won't be buying a house either. My own reasons. I don't want to take care of a home, so I don't need you giving me your opinions on that. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put what I did, which even though I'm apparently not aware that I was doing it wrong, or I just don't care, but I'm going to put this in there, and I don't want your opinion on it. And then yet this is a subreddit, and this is right below where you put your question is. It asked people to put a comment in. So you're doing this wrong too. Post, wouldn't it be PS? Postscript? Because that's the postscript. I don't think it's PSS, isn't it PPS? This might be an exception though, and that might actually mean postscript. Postscript. Also, this debt came late because I didn't even get the bill till a year after the care. So, you know, give me a break. Okay, so apparently somebody probably gently brought up the subject of you doing it wrong. So, okay, I'll give you a break, but then why didn't you pay it when you got the bill? You're doing it wrong. So, it's your life and your money. You can certainly do it wrong. And then if you don't want comments, you don't need to put posts on the Reddit. If you put the posts on the Reddit, you're going to get some comments on it. And I'm going to talk about it on my YouTube channel. That's just the way life works here. So, you know, you save 20% of your income. Great. You did it wrong. That should have gone on debt. And then you would have been in a much better place because you wouldn't have had any debt. Great grand boss spotted the bump today. Now is the great grand boss, is that like pretty close to the owner? We're getting up there when it's great grand boss. Steps, go to your brokerage account, go to mutual fund, options filter for international fund, sort by performance since inception, or Kenception, as we learned today which I didn't think of while Ken was talking to a person named Ken on the Ramsey show. I didn't think of it until there was like 5 minutes left in the YouTube portion of the Ramsey show. Hello, screen them and choose your favorite. Sid tells you exactly. And that's not hard to find out. That's not hard to figure out how to do if you spend 2 seconds of it on the internet. So, lazy people, just tell me what to invest in. Nah, the dating pool is terrible today. I don't think so, Sid. I've had nothing but fabulous luck. It says they are allowed to opt out of buying a house. Yep, not advised for most people, but it's a free punch. You're right, for sure. Not a gamer at all. Okay. Most efficient multiple loan calculator possible. What? Yes, there's the avalanche mentioned another method, but if I tackle just one loan, the other will accrue more. Okay, well, again, you don't have to do the baby steps. You don't have to post on the Ramsey subreddit, Dave Ramsey subreddit. This is the Dave Ramsey subreddit. So you don't have to come here and justify what you're doing. You can just do it. So that's up to you. But you don't need a multiple loan calculator because it's already figured out for you. And that is the beauty of the baby steps. That's why it's so simple, because it's the same for everybody. And it doesn't matter however you think about money or however you want to do it. It's not going to change for you. You can just do your own thing without running it through the prism of the baby steps. Should I aim to recast my mortgage or make extra monthly payments? It can sometimes to recast, refinancing, maybe. They're not necessarily the same thing. Sometimes refinancing can help you, but generally not, especially now that unless you very recently bought the house, the interest rates now are going to be more than you have on it currently. So it has to make sense for you to refi it. So what would be the reason to refi it is what I would challenge the person on. Just bought a house and we have extra money left over every month. I was thinking of throwing this money in a high yield savings account. So again, doing it wrong. Again, familiarize yourself with the baby steps. It does not say save beyond in step 3, your full emergency fund. You have your full emergency fund and you don't save a penny more than that unless you need to save a sinking fund for a particular purchase. Like, you're going to have to buy tires. You need tires in about 6 months. Fine. Do a sinking fund for that specific purpose, but there's no general slush fund in case we want to buy something. There's no doing that. That money would be going to pay off the house early. So there's no doing that. That's a NAR. Okay, so this person doesn't want to do the baby steps, so it sounds like thinking of throwing money in a high yield savings account and then recasting my mortgage every time I reach 20 to 30K. This would lower my monthly payment each time. And okay, too much, trying to do too much math, trying to be too cute there. So that's a NAR. And it probably won't work out mathematically like you think it will. I think you're being nutty about that. I don't think the math works out in that case. But if it does, and you're only using math to determine your path, go ahead. That has nothing to do with the Ramsey advice. because the Ramsey advice is based on less risk instead. Now seeking discomfort. Now, why would you seek that? Discomfort would seem to happen enough on its own, I would think, for everybody. So don't seek discomfort. Baby steps 4, 5, and 6. I wonder if there's a story there with that. Buy first car before getting married. If you don't need a car, you don't have to. Edit. Oh, okay. Changed it already. Maybe they left the original post first. Maybe the edit's just the first part. Anyway, what would Dave do? Flare. You don't buy a car you don't need. First of all, let's see. I knew exactly what this group of people would say about this post, but I needed to hear it. Okay. And that happens too. All right. Part of my desire to get a new car is that I'm just tired of the one I have now. Tough crap. Doesn't matter if you don't need one. It's dumb to buy one when that money could be put towards getting yourself further down the baby steps, especially if you have to, like today, save for a wedding. Wasn't that one of the ones today on the Ramsey show? I think it was. Saving for a wedding. So why would you buy a car that you don't need? And this is not the need like a lot of people do when they say they needed to. No, you didn't need that. You chose to buy that. Didn't have to. It wasn't 100% necessary to live. Haven't had any issues with it, but it's not to me anymore. Wah. And I'm someone who struggles to let go of that line of thought. Well, if it's that bad, go to counseling. But, we're getting into princess territory here. And unless it's Princess Leia, I'm not interested. Would love to hear some advice on that from y'all. I think it has something to do with satisfaction. I need to learn to settle and be grateful. Exactly. So, if you can't get over it, counseling about it. Seriously, I mean, it's easy for me to say, just get over it. Just grow up and stop being a little princess. And that's easy to say, but that might not be easy for this person to get over. We all have our weak spots for certain. But yeah, it's not new to me anymore. Whiny. Let's see. Bum, 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 bum. Bow, 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 bow. So things 4 or 5 layers over my great grand boss. Okay, lots of lateral moves at that level. All right. That sounds very complicated. Very complicated business family tree there. Sid's gonna browse refi options for a mortgage. She could get a 15-year with the same rate and the same payment right now. Currently have a 30-year. That doesn't make sense. Does that include the closing costs on that? So yeah, that might be the only difference. You might be paying closing costs to have exactly what you have now. Perhaps. Oh, I see what you're saying with the 30. Yeah, unless it's with a different company that's giving you said it's the same rate as well. Yeah, that doesn't make sense either. Let me know what that, I'm sure you'll look more into it. Let me know what that, I'm interested to see why that would possibly be. Refi costs are 4K, right? And so when refining, the person asked about recasting earlier. So when refining, it can make sense if your time for recouping the cost of it, which in Sid's case would cost $4,000. It's how different the the interest rate savings would be how fast you can make up that $4,000 in that amount, and if there was a lower payment as well, would go into that. And so if you're talking years to make up the difference, it generally is not worth refining. Generally has to be a short time in that, and that would be called your break-even point on that. Ideas, okay, I do have some. Ideas. I am the saver, she is the spender. Women do be shopping, right? Just kidding, Sid. But we always have a hard time keeping track of money. I mean, keeping track of it on paper. We are use digital then. Use digital. We are reducing our debt, ARE debt, significantly, and we live below our ARE means. All right. I am looking for a bank that uses the envelope system in a more digital way. I don't want to pull it out and actually use envelopes. Well, if you can't stick to the budget, you might want to try it. Also, the app works kind of. I wish it was actual separate accounts at the bank. It's not. You can have like different buckets at the bank, but it's not going to be a different account. So, I mean, I guess you could open different accounts, but if it's going to cost extra money to open those extra accounts, don't do that. Figure it out. Instead, you can do your own digital way yourself. And if by you having to put in the transactions, that makes you even more aware of what you're spending and what money is coming in, etc., etc. I have talked the missus about this. Wow. And she isn't against looking around to get to the point. Here also, am I overthinking this? Maybe, but you're trying to get it to work. Apparently, it's not working now because you say you have a hard time keeping track of it. So, I don't think so, not yet. I don't think you're overthinking it yet. Is there a bank that does this? Like you say, you could do different buckets, but they're going to be in the same account. So they're not actually going to be in a different account, but you can split up one account in different ways. How can we go forward and keep a better eye on the budget? And you can do a spreadsheet. You can do any online budget software and do this. And you can do it where it doesn't just import it. It's where you have to put it in. And so again, that makes you very much more aware of everything that is coming in and going out. Okay, and referring to every dollar, it's not true separate accounts. Okay, I don't know much about every dollar. I didn't like it and just tried it for a short time and went back to my spreadsheet, which does exactly what I wanted to do. This episode of the Ramsey Show Aftershow Show brought to you by Crinkly Water Bottle. Since as you're not looking at shaking things up, it's a surefire way to shake things up when all it does is slow me down. What is that? That's oh gosh, I can't remember the. I've grown a little cynical. Why you wanna give me the run around? I can't remember the name of the band though. Since they're not looking to shake things up at the moment, only thing I might do is ask about moving to make half payments. Half payments every payday makes the budget cycle thing easier. Okay. And it would be easier to cope when on maternity leave. Ally has a budgeting function in the app. I'm not in love with it. Mr. Sid is glad to hear that, I'm sure. Next radical improvement to every dollar. You can take a pic of the receipt and it tries to guess how much goes into certain categories. Interesting. Alrighty. Oh, thanks everybody, by the way. Everybody that's watching live now and that will be watching at a later time. Thank you so very much. Much appreciated. There's billions of hours on the YouTube to watch, so I am very humbled that you would spend even 1 second with me. Thank you so much. BitKing 2023 need encouragement. Wife and I bought a small condo, got married, had a baby, started our careers, and bought cars all in 2020 after the economy. In today's economy went the way it did. So, okay. So the first thing we got to do for needing encouragement is to stop bringing up the economy. The economy has happened to everybody. So don't blame things on the economy. You have to adjust for whatever the economy is. You don't get a pass for the way the economy went. We will be out of debt entirely in 2027. Until then, the following is true. I bet you could do things that would make you get out of debt earlier, but you probably don't want to. Imagine that. But maybe not, but perhaps. We'll see. Work 60 hours a week. We won't see the inside of a restaurant. No subscription services. Everything cheap. Great. Is wife working? This is not self-inflicted as it isn't student loans, car loans, or credit card debt. What my wife desperately wants to be a stay-at-home mom, but I ask her to work since I don't make enough until we reach our goal and reduce expenses. Okay, I feel like for me, I'm letting my family down and on a road to meet this goal, or a heart attack meeting me over drama king, being a drama king. I feel like for me, being a drama king, it's hard to not to feel like a failure and feel beat down as a result of the many times any of you that bought a house before 2020 doesn't get an opinion on this. Sorry. Again, you're putting it on an open forum. You're going to get other opinions you don't want. So if you don't want opinions, don't put it on the forum. For those that have done the Ramsey plan, how did you get through it? We have been doing this for over a year now, and we are doing our best. Well, the problem, let's see, got married, had a baby. So she wants to be a stay-at-home mom. She can be a stay-at-home mom. Guess what? But then when you are home, she can go to work and make some money. Or doing something at home that she can do at night. Or whenever new baby is sleeping. So, also, if the house you bought after 2020 that you think is special and that you think gives you some kind of pass on something, or that we should feel sorry for you, if that house is making you house poor, then you need to sell it. So that's what I would get into with this person. That's great that you don't see the inside of a restaurant or subscription services or everything cheap, but if you got too much house, you might have to sell it anyway, even if you give everything else up. No student loans, good car loans, or credit card debt. So it doesn't say we don't have any other debt. Doesn't say that on here. It just says it's not student loans, car loans, or credit card debt. So I would need more information on this, but just in general, stop whining about the economy and the way things are today. Everybody is dealing with that. And you don't get a pass because you bought a house 2020 and after. Nobody told you to do that, and Mr. Ramsey didn't advise that you buy too much house, which you may or may not have done. I don't know. So don't have enough information, but I'm encouraging you. And you said you'll be out of debt entirely in 2027, that including the condo. Then maybe that is no debt except the condo. Well, bought cars. Oh, in 2020 as well. Let's see. Not self-inflicted as it isn't. Student loans, car loans, or okay. So maybe they bought cars in cash. Maybe. So I would have to clarify a bunch of stuff with this person, but I mean, you're saying you'll be out of debt in 2 years. And so if you've already been doing it for 3 years, that's a lot of time. And maybe the problem is this condo is more house than you can afford. Or there's some other spending going on or something that I'm not aware of. But you work in 60 hours, apparently that's not enough. And so there needs to be more income, or you got to cut more stuff, or you can sell something that you previously bought with debt. If she's a stay-at-home mom, maybe she doesn't need another car, that kind of thing. You can go down to one car. There's plenty of stuff you can do. So, but a lot of people don't think about it because they don't want to be inconvenienced. So it says you can split an expense in every dollar for when you go to stores like Walmart and Target, where you buy $20 of clothes, $60 of food, and $30 of furniture, decor. So if they make a program that looks for keywords, codes on the receipt, then it could split the expense for you. So it says about this one, people who bought a house before 2020 can still think you were dumb to buy a car you couldn't afford. That much is certain as well. Yeah. And even if you did pay cash for it, it shouldn't have been a new car unless you're a millionaire, per Dave Ramsey. So, you know, you gotta follow the advice, not just a little bit of the advice, and then complain that it's not working if you're doing it wrong. Though being a breadwinner, it was very hard for her to ask Cubs to go to work. We are a team, and we're both working hard to get back to stay-at-home parent lifestyle. That's a priority for us. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I don't really remember that much complaining from you, Sid. Sid has a grasp on the reality of life, mostly, I think. Daunting path ahead, but I feel optimistic. From Lisa Frankenstein. Any relation? I'm so glad I found Dave Ramsey. Me too. And all the other advising friends on YouTube. Okay. Do you mean that work for Ramsey or other ones? Gotta be careful about mixing advice, because sometimes they go opposite each other, and then you're taking one step forward and a step back sometimes, like that. So you gotta be careful. It keeps me in check. I, 33 female, have $13,300 in credit card debt, and I've been living on $200 a week for groceries and gas. I have a family of 5. That's probably not bad at all. While the rest of my paycheck goes to paying off all my credit card bills. It's so satisfying making $600 payments at a time. Indeed. I get to watch that number go down. And I will never get myself into this hole again. Fabulous. That is part of baby step 0. That you decide you're going to pay off all your dumb, stupid debt. And you're not going to take out any more debt ever again. I should have it paid off in about a year from now. No restaurants, no extra stuff. If I absolutely have to get something clothing-wise for my kids, I've been finding it free or used, and I pinch it out of my $200 budget. Wow. When I tell people my budget, their eyes get wide and they say they could never. But they could. That's right, they could. They say they could never because they don't want to sacrifice. It's not worth the sacrifice for them because of the inconvenience, or they don't want to have to do without something. They just won't. You're right. And I hope for their sake they figure it out sooner than later. I have even helped one of my friends get her plan set up, and she's 6 months in, and she's so upbeat about it. That's fabulous. She's paid down $10,000 so far, and there's another $15,000 to go, and then she'll be debt free. We're teaching our kids the importance of earning and saving, and already seeing the fruits of such. My oldest now prefers to save every penny she can and has even started a business. Alrighty. Thank you to everyone on here and this amazing life-changing community. I have you all to thank for my future. My goal is to finally create generational wealth, something my husband and I did not have. And yeah, and that's awesome. And that's great to thank the community. And that's great to thank Dave, but he didn't do anything except say, here's what I think you should do. You are the one that's doing this sacrificing. Dave already did his own sacrificing a long time ago. He's not sacrificing anymore, but you are. So you gotta give yourself props. Yeah, I gotta get my cup out. That is like a like a influencer type cup that has a straw on it, like a metal straw that comes with it, that kind of thing. I should get that going and be a little bit more profesh here. Let's do, oh, this will be a good one from Chew Becky. I like it. Shout out to Chewbacca. 12. Chewbecky 12. Term life policy. Do not bring up whole life. Do not bring up whole life. Do not bring up. We'll see if it happens. I am on baby step 4, mid-30s, female, non-smoking. Congratulations. And I want to get a term policy for $500,000 for 30 years, which is about 10 years of salary, as Dave recommends, and would get me to retirement age. I've tried Xander, AAA, Ethos, etc., and they come back saying they can't provide a quote policy for me. Oh, I know I'm considered obese according to height, weight charts for underwriting and fully expect to pay a high rate, but dang, none can offer me a quote. Maybe it's better for them to not do that. So that, I mean, that could be a legal thing too. Maybe they've been advised by their lawyers to not do that, so then they can't be sued in conjunction for being involved with that because of obesity. Maybe. I don't know. That's just a guess. I don't know. We'll go directly to an insurer then. Well, AAA would be their own insurer, probably. Ethos as well. Xander is a broker, so they're checking a bunch of different other companies for you for that. I would keep trying. I'm sure somebody eventually would give you one. Definitely higher rate, probably. Let's say I want to get the policy as a safety net while I'm younger and still can. I'm single, so no one technically depends on me. Okay? Right now, but I wanted to have it in place for future marriage / children. Okay? I would be, do you have health insurance right now? Is my hope to make drastic changes to lose weight fast and reapply later? Maybe. Those company, you'd have to ask those companies. Do they keep a quote company file to compare? They probably do. They probably do have that information and would know that you previously applied. Should I just abandon the idea of getting a term policy and focus on investments instead? Become self-insured, as Dave says. Sincerely, Fluffy, and I know it. All right. And a lock post, new comments. Somebody went in on the weight, I'm sure. So, all right, it's the internet, and so probably, so they locked the post. But yeah, in that case, you would have to, you do the best you can. You go to different life insurance people to try to get that in place. But again, you didn't say about health insurance, so I would get health insurance. You plan for the now first before you're talking about getting something for any future spouse or future children that do not exist yet. So I get it. You want to get in place early, but the health insurance would seem to be the better thing to concentrate on if you don't have that. If you do have that, I mean, that's all I got for you. If Xander can't find anything for you, I mean, you can also ask them if they have any options for you. Like if they can point you in any directions, you can call them back to ask them that if you haven't already. But you can even Google, Google obese term life insurance and see what's up. Because I would think there's got to be somebody willing to take a lot of money from you for that if that's really what you have your heart set on. And at that point, it might be better to do the investing, but that may not have a higher growth than the death benefit would be on the 500K, which theoretically could happen anytime. Whereas say in 5 years, supposedly, maybe you have a spouse and children, and then you would want that to have that death benefit for them. An investment that you invest in would not be up at 500K by then, probably. So that's a good question. But yeah, I would Google it and see. But I can't imagine somebody wouldn't give you one, but again, you might have to part with a whole bunch of money for that, and then you can make the decision whether to do that or just throw it in a brokerage fund instead. /3040, what to do with a 0% loan? You pay it off. Smallest to largest. Let's see. Mr. Sid locates utilities so people don't cut them when digging. I ain't saying they a hole digger. They look at your health. Yes. Is that legal? Yes. Right. Like me, I would, if I didn't already have it, I would pay more for the beatus, and the heart attack that I previously had. Just a baby. Just a baby one. But still, I would be paying more. Policies for low coverage usually don't need those exams, though. Right, that's one of the issues, that she wants $500,000 in death benefit. I mean, Mr. Sid is her husband. That locates the utilities. Mailer. And that's who I was talking about. Where we go? What do you do with 0% loan? Yeah, you pay it off, smallest to largest. The interest rate does not come into play. Hello, everyone. Hi, guys. Oh, is there a dot? No, there's no dots. Chess got it in, it looks like. They should all show up here. Hello, everyone. Hi, guys. I'm new to this sub, and I'm relatively new to listening to Dave and his show. All right, I will give you a break on not knowing that then, sir. I do love the concept of the baby steps. Well, then make it happen then. Put the concept into reality. And I would like to get to 7-inch. We all would. Currently, I'm still on baby step 2 with paying off my debt. Great. It's better to be on step 2 than step 1. I currently owe $3,000 on a credit card with my wife, and I have a truck payment that's about $420 a month. Consider selling the truck, my friend. We plan on immediately paying off that credit card within the next 2 months. That's not immediately, but that's the next one you'll pay off. So that's already taken care of. False. It's going to be in the next 2 months, so it's not already taken care of. People just get just diarrhea of the mouth with phrases like that, and just, and also they're thinking in their head too, oh, well, I said the next 2 months, so that means it's already taken care of. No, that's not how it works. but my truck payment still has another 26 months remaining on it. You know how you get it to have 0 months left remaining on it? You sell it and you buy a beater. I got it in 2020, and the appealing thing for me was I got approved for 0%. Doesn't matter. Does it make sense to pay off my truck now or continue making monthly payments since it's a wash? No, you pay off the truck now. You don't skip baby steps. It doesn't say pay off debt smallest to large. It's using that snowball. And except if it's 0%, you just let that hang around forever and you just go ahead and go to the next step, baby. No, it doesn't say that on there, my friend. So I would read the baby step and I would do what the baby step says. And unless it specifically says, do this dumb thing that I'm thinking about doing, don't do that dumb thing you're thinking about doing. So I gave you a little bit of credit, but there's nothing that it says that would make you think that. It's just you overthinking it and also wanting to keep the truck, etc., etc. So sell the truck. And this one too. I love people so much because they don't want to do the baby steps. They don't want to do them. TW13, and yet posting on here anyway. I don't know why. Excuse me. Hi team. All right, we're a team now. Team Coach Steve Money. I'm new to Dave's, or Team Ramsey, I guess, overall. I'm new to Dave's content and doing quite well, if you say so. But I needed some of your experience and wisdom with what Dave means by debt. Specifically, I'm in Australia for context. Well, any dumb stuff you're thinking, what Dave would say to you so you can understand it, that would be NAR. And you guys knew that was coming the minute it said Australia, the second it said Australia. My only debt with interest is my remaining student loan from university, and there's only $3.5K left on it, which our personal tax deducts from our pay. By default, should I pay this off right away if I go by the steps? Yes, because it doesn't say pay off debts from smallest to largest using that snowball, unless you're in Australia and you have some other dumb crap involved. It doesn't, no matter what, you pay off your debts, smallest to largest, until they're gone. There's nothing that changes that to where you would keep a debt around. Now, there's things that can cause you to pause. If you have an emergency or a pregnancy or something like that, you pause the baby steps and just pile up cash, but you're still on step 2. And then when you would unpause it, when there's no more emergency, you would be right back on step 2 and you would be paying that off, even though it's 0%. People are nutty when they think their little stuff changes the baby steps, and they don't. As I have the money to do it now, and also you wouldn't have extra savings now. So apparently you missed step 1 as well. And this is why everybody needs to listen to the How to Do the Baby Steps Right song. How to Do the Baby Steps Right. And that's in my music playlist there. And it doesn't say save $1,000 as fast as possible and then save more while you're paying off debt. And if you already had more savings, you can just keep that. It doesn't say that. You apply everything over $1,000 as emergency fund in savings. You apply that to your debt. I don't know why people can't understand it. And I understand it's not the normal thing to do. It's not what the average person does, and apparently not the way the average person thinks. But I can't read this list and think of anything that these people think of like this should come to their mind after looking at this list, except that they just want to do it their own way. And the time to do it your own way is just to do it without posting here, because then you're going to hear it go from 41 comments here, and I'm going to talk about it as well. As I have the money to do it now or the end of the financial... You said you have the money to do it now, so that's all that matters. We'll do it by tax on my default. Why would you think that and that's what I would do. Unfortunately, the people at council never have any that I actually have coaching sessions with. They never have dumb ideas like this and ask should they do dumb stuff like this. Because if they did, I would try to find out what is it happening in their head where they would think that that would be what to do when the baby steps say clearly what there is to do. So maybe one day I'll actually get to talk to somebody about that. Secondly, what about things that don't really have interest attached to? Debt is debt, dog. So debt is anything that you did not pay for cash, paying cash for. So that would be debt. Let's see if there's anything else here. Don't we have an interest rate attached like the rates on land we own without a mortgage? Oh, and an end-of-year tax debt, which doesn't have it. That's not really debt, because for debt it has to be something that is like costs money, and then you get it without actually paying cash for it. So when the end-of-year tax debt is assessed, that's when you pay it. So that's not really debt. It's the same thing, and some people will do that, and some people know darn well that it's not debt, but they'll say like your electric bill is debt since you owe it. And that's bull crap. That's a utility, and that is billed to you. And then when it's billed to you, you pay it off. Now, if you become late on that, then that can become debt, sure. But if you pay it before the due date, then that's not debt, dummy. Let's see. So you're being dumb, overthinking it, something like that. You got some kind of problems going on up here. So is this other stuff his form of debt given? That's not a debt. That's not a debt. Your 0% thing, yes, is debt. So you don't have a loan or mortgage on the land. So guess what? That's not debt either. And the taxes it generates is not debt either. You just owe it when it is billed, when it's assessed. Contribute extra $30 a week to super what? I don't know what that is. $700 per month to an interest savings account. So that's an hour while you have while you still have baby step 2 debt. You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. $200 a month to manage fund with shouldn't be doing investing either. That's step 4. No investing. No, you're doing it wrong. Steps 1, 2, 3, one at a time without even thinking about higher steps. There's no investing. Stop investing until your debt is paid off and you have the full emergency fund. Stop being dumb. Follow the baby steps. You're not doing it. So, and we'd love to talk to this person to see how that person got to there, because I really would love to understand how they get there, other than just being blissfully unaware of, I don't know. I can't even put it into words, because I can't imagine looking at this list and coming up with the dumb crap that this person came up with. So, but it does happen quite a bit, actually, as well. So, but most of the time, I get it. You don't want to do Dave's way. That's fine. But you having such a low grasp of reality is what concerns me. And this is a locked post again, although there are some comments on there already. Locked post. How am I thinking wrong? And this is just what I did. Are these people listening to my show now? Because it's not the first time I've been saying stuff like this. Ticket Traditional 197. How am I thinking wrong? Okay. I've me out. I've listened and read the basics of what Dave preaches, and it's good stuff. Period. So do the stuff that you said is good stuff then, and don't think any more about it. Just do what he says. Especially the debt and smart spending. However, of course there's always a however. I can't help but think that the investing portion is just not going to work. Okay, that's fine. You don't have to do that. How are you thinking wrong? Let's see. What is it specifically? I don't think you have a chance of being wealthy from stocks. Yes, you can. You're dumb as crap. Let me explain. Please criticize. Okay. NASDAQ 1985. Okay. What about it? Assuming same growth, do we really think in 2065 the NASDAQ will be 405,000? It's gonna keep going up. I mean, there may be a time where it will start to do a slowdown overall, but hey, guess what? You know what else keeps growing? Guess what? Guess what? You know what keeps growing just like that? Inflation. Right? Right? Isn't the 40 years from now, isn't inflation going to be much higher as well than it is now? So that's how you're thinking wrong. And if you don't think it will be, hey, that's great. Don't follow his investing advice. You don't have to follow any of it. So you can do whatever you want here. But I just don't see this happening, growth over the next 40. Can't be close to the past 40. Because why? Why can't it be? Why can't it be? You can go by, you can go by the Dow and the S&P 500 that have much longer track records than the NASDAQ. You can go by those. And those are still a lot of money. So I don't understand what you don't understand again. I don't understand why you would be thinking this way other than to just, do you have a better idea? Is what I would ask this person too. Like, what's your better idea to invest in then? How are you going to make more money than the market is going to make? So, nutty people. And of course, it got contentious. And again, could just be somebody trying to rabble rouse, a troll, etc. That does happen on here. But again, feel free to mention what would be a better idea to invest in. At least mention crypto or whatever other dumb crap you're thinking about. Certainly do that. Sid says he needs to look at Asian economies where things cost thousands of yen, won, etc. Yep. Needs to look at a lot of stuff. What time is it? I might as well go for the 2-hour show. Wow. All right. Fun times. See, this is how fun it is for me. I don't even realize that much time is going by. Antique Lemon 1802, buying a home. I was thinking of baby step 4. Adding 10% of my income in a separate brokerage account to save up to buy a house outright. And you can do that. Step 3B is where you would begin to save down payment. So that means you don't have any debt and you have a full emergency fund before you even start saving anything for down payment. But at that point, you can save for down payment. If you have debt and you don't have a full emergency fund, there's no beginning to save the down payment. There's no investing either at that point. So you'd be doing it wrong if that would be it. So let's see. In a separate brokerage account to save up to buy a house. So in total, baby step 4 would be 25% of my income going to investments. You don't consider a house an investment like that. You don't do that. But you don't have to put 15% in while you are saving up for that. You can even take 2 years completely off of investing in step 4 for retirement while you save up a larger down payment faster. You can do that. So for those 2 years, the balance between investing and down payment savings percentage, that is up to you. So that would be fine. I don't mind living in an apartment as long as I have a roof over my head and it's temperature controlled. All right. I think about all the places in the world where these huge families live in small places. Being in California, yep. Getting a mortgage would make me house broke and take a significant portion of my income. Has Dave Ramsey hit on buying a house for this new generations that has just graduated college. Seem like the baby steps don't hit on buying a house. Thank you. Yes, it does, but the problem is you're in California. And the baby steps don't have a special California edition. And they also don't have a special new generations edition either. The same rules apply to everybody buying a house now, whether you are an old like me or you just graduated from college. So yeah, they do hit on buying a house, but this person may not know that, because if you have not delved further into it, you're not going to see baby step 3B, saving for down payment, anywhere. Not here on the subreddits version of the baby steps right here, or on the official baby steps. You do not see step 3B there. So you would have to Google, and I'm sure it would come up if you Googled Dave Ramsey baby steps down payment for a house. I'm sure that would come up and it would show you it would be 3B. And so you would do it after you've done 1, 2, and 3. So that is on there. And as I said, especially being in California, you might have to save a larger down payment to be able to afford it. Now, if you put down a big down payment and that's still too much house for you, you don't make enough money to buy a house in California. Sorry. And there's no pass for that. And there's no steps for that. There's no Ramsey advice for that, except you save up a large enough down payment to make you not be house poor by the mortgage. And if you can't do that, then you move out of California, or you move to a cheaper place in California. Alrighty. So did see a theory with the decline in fertility rates around the world means that real estate may not continue to be a great investment. Only another generation or two will continue to increase the demand for single family homes. Okay, and that could affect it, sure. But that's going to be another generation or two down the road. So I'm not planning for that if I'm you, for something that might happen in the next generation, and you might still be alive near the end of your, I won't be here. I'm not worried about it for sure. And you may not be either, or you'll be on the way out there. You'll be an old at that time, and hopefully you'll be in a house by then, but that's not guaranteed in California if you don't make California money. Sorry. But not really. I'm actually not sorry. You don't get a pass for that. YouTube.com/coachstevemoney is where you're watching this. And you just scroll past the Oak Island playlist and you'll see the Ramsey Show Aftershow show playlist. This is number 469. And generally I do hour shows, but sometimes it's hour and a half or 2 hours like it is today. And so there's thousands of hours of me talking about different things. Probably, would it be 1,000? Maybe not quite 1,000 yet hours, but probably 700, I would imagine, at least, about financial stuff, including the 11 Ramsey adjacent songs in the music playlist, but the Answering Your Financial Questions playlist as well, that has 137 episodes. And tomorrow is what? Tomorrow will be episode 470. Of the Ramsey Show Aftershow show, and that is 5:25 p.m. Eastern Time. Oh, Sid said something else. Possibly more rebuilds with even bigger houses. Could be. Always in motion is the future. Alrighty, so I'm not just some guy here, not just some guy said, oh, I'll just put coach in front of my name and I'll think of a fun branding thing like money to put at the end of it. No, I'm actually a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach, I promise. And if you are having money problems or you just want to make sure you're on the right track, or you just want to hear me tell you you're doing it wrong, in person, you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation with me at calendly.com/coachstevemoney. I should get the shirt, the merch that has my logo on it, and then maybe on the back. You doing it wrong. Let's try that again. You can schedule that consultation at calendly.com/coachstevemoney. The link is in the ticker below, also in the video description. You can email me about coaching or anything else on my YouTube channel, coachstevemoney@gmail.com. Donations can go to paypal.me/coachstevemoney. Alternatively, to Cash App. Cash App at $CoachSteveMoney, $CoachSteveMoney. Through the Cash App is where that is. Walmart gift card to coachstevemoney@gmail.com. Upcoming streams, as I said, the Ramsey Show, Aftershow show. And that is Monday through Fridays until further notice, following each YouTube Ramsey show. And that ends approximately 5:25 p.m. Eastern Time. And that's when I will be going live. Football is pretty much over, except for the Pro Bowl and the Super Bowl. And so eventually, especially if I am working during the Ramsey show hours and right after, if I'm working, I'll be doing more of the answering your live financial questions live. And I'll be doing those on the weekend, probably 4 p.m. Eastern Time, which is Ramsey time during the week on YouTube. Alrighty. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Please like. That means the thumbs up button. Just, you don't have to smash it, but it's your equipment. You do what you feel is right, of course. But you can just graze it. Just enough to make it register a thumbs up for me. Much, much appreciated. And of course, thank you for all the comments as well. And as always, make smart financial decisions every day. Don't do it wrong.